So for this one, the question is search an element in an array where the difference between adjacent elements is 1. So we see that the difference from here to here is 1, from here to here is 1, from here to here is 1. And so we're given the array, and we're also given a number. And for that given number, we have to figure out the index. So in this case, that 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be found at index 7. One way we can do this is to just iterate through the array, through every single element, but then that would give us a big O n, and we wouldn't really be using the other information that we have of this question, which is that every single element has a difference of 1. So we're still going to iterate through the array, just that now we're going to skip some values. So how we can tackle this is basically, we're going to start at the first position. So we're going to start at index 0, and while our index is less than the length of our array, we're going to iterate. And while we do that, the first check is to check that our given index, that the value is that 3. If that's not the case, if that's the case, then we're going to return the index. Now, if that's not the case, then that's where we're going to use the absolute difference. So we're going to find the absolute difference between the value of our current position. So our current position will be 8. And we are going to kind of like subtract it from our actual value, the actual number that we're looking for. So in that case, it will give us a 5. And what we're going to do is that now we're going to get a new index. So we're basically going to jump over our current index, and we're going to skip to the next, to our new index. And the reason why we're skipping is because we know that we are always going to be incrementing or decrementing by 1. So in the case that it's increasing, and that all the numbers are increasing, that means that our number would at the very least be like the leftmost side of that number will be there. Now if some of them are decreasing, then like in this case they decrease and then increase and then decrease, we know that it's going to be even more to the right. So regardless, so the difference will be, we know here that the number won't be there because mathematically there's like no way that that you can get from 8 to 3 without moving 5 spots. So we're gonna start. So let's start with our function. We can call it search num, and it's going to take an array, and it's going to take in a number, so the number that we're looking for. So first thing is, let's find the length. So our length, let length equals array dot length, and now let's have our index. We're going to start it at 0. Let I equals 0, and we're going to do a while loop. So while 0 is less than the length, we are going to look through the elements. So the first thing we want to do is check that the one that we're currently at is like there's a possibility that it could be our index. So let's do if array I equals n. That means that we have found it, so we can just return the index, which is I. Otherwise, let's get a new index with the absolute value information that we can get. Absolute value information. So one we can do is we can find the difference. So let's do let diff, and we can find the difference with absolute value, which I think JavaScript uses absolute value like this. So we can get it from our current one. So in this case, it'll be an 8. So array, we're going to look at that specific value minus the value that we're giving, which is 3. Well, not 3, which is n, sorry, which is n. And now we want to get a new index. So we have that difference, but in order that we don't lose our current track, we need to add our current index plus this difference to get our new index. So now our I can be I equals I plus the difference, and yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so another thing before that we don't miss out is in case that it doesn't find it, we should return something else. So let's just return false, and let's close this. So let's just go through this really quick. I'm just writing down the index values. So in our case, our n is 3 and our index is 0. So our 0 and our length is what? Our length is 10. So is 0 less than 10? Yes, it is. So we're going to look at array. Oh, let me do this here. So I equals, and then n equals 3. Let's put this here. So I right now is 0. So is the 0 index is 8 equal to 3? No, it's not. So we're going to continue. Let's grab the difference. Is 8 minus 3 happens to be 5. So 5 plus our I is 0 is 5. So 0 plus 5 is 5. So our 0 is now going to be 5. So our I index is not going to be 5. So and here, sorry, here it's not a 0, it's going to be the I, our current value of I. So is 5 less than 10? Yes, it is. So now yeah, maybe 10. Actually, the length is longer because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The length is 12. Sorry. So it's 5 less than 12. Yes, it is. Let's look at the value of 5. 5 is 5 as well. 5 equal to 3. No, it does not. So let's grab a new difference. 5 minus our n is 3, so it's gonna give us 2. Is our difference, so 2, our index here was what? It was 5, so 5 plus 2 is 7, so our new index is now 7. And let's look at, 7. As you see, we can see that we have a 3, but let's continue. Is 7 less than 12? Yes, it is. Is the value at index 7, which is 3, equal to 3? Yes, it is. So we're going to return. And that's it.